The one and only time we'll ever be in sync. Because
Yes.
there's only 2 wine glasses. But welcome into another edition of Road Tripping with RJ.
Oh, look who wants to join. Hi, Channing. You're just going to listen. You're not going to talk. See, this is what happens when you have a stubborn older child. You just want to sit. You're really going to sit there, and you're going to deprive all the listeners because you want to pout.
How
All right.
quiet can Channing be?
Okay, cool.
How quiet? You know that game you play with your kid? The quiet game?
Yeah. My son's not old enough to play that game yet, so he doesn't get it. He hasn't fully grasped the quiet game yet.
Well, Channing is 38 years old, so maybe he will be able to grasp it.
But no BS. You're really just going to say, okay, whatever. I'm not even going to feed into it.
We'll see how long he's on the clock.
Okay.
With that said, though, before we even talk anything, I have to give a shout out to my my alma mater, Toledo. Women's basketball just wrapped up. I don't know if you want to call it an upset because I have a lot of expectations for them, but they were the number 6 seed and they upset the number 3 seed, Kent State in the MAC tournament.
Ooh, 2 Ohio teams.
Yes. Well, a lot of them are Ohio.
I don't know. I don't know much about the
Western
MAC.
Michigan.
Not yet. Well, there's Western, there's Central, there's
And
Eastern.
Buffalo.
There's
Wait,
Northern
is
Illinois.
Butler?
There's
Is Butler?
Buffalo. No.
They're not in your conference?
No, Butler's in my past.
What about the Lady Bulls?
They are. I'm just saying there's a lot
What is
of
a
teams in the
what,
MAC conference that are in Ohio.
What is a Lady Bull? Just kidding. Well, that's a whole nother. This is Women's Month, right? What's the Women's Month? What is it called?
International Women's Day.
Oh,
today.
International
Every
Day. Every day.
Every
It's
day.
every day. Anyways,
Every day.
every day is Valentine's Day.
Anyways, 3 of the top 4 seeds went down, including the one that the Toledo women beat tonight,
Okay.
Kent State.
All right.
At the Q, which is why we are on the road. You guys get kicked out because the MAC tournament has come to the land.
Yeah.
So I have to give them a shout out because
So where did the whole Mack truck? Where did? Because were there multiple Mack trucks? Is there a new Mack truck? Was there an old Mack truck? Like were you one of the original Mack trucks?
I think I'm the only MAC truck.
Oh.
Humble too, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget how humble she is.
In human form. Let's
Okay.
just put it that way.
Okay.
Because we were actually coming back from Business of Basketball today, and I looked down, and one of the semis did have MAC on it.
Yeah, it's a
I
fairly
felt
popular
special,
brand.
apparently. But honestly, I can actually tell you it was the summer before it was preseason sophomore year when I was very into the weight room. That's kind of when my change happened. I set a screen in practice, and I remember Tamisha Scott, and I'll never forget it. She bounced off of me, and she was like the not men of all, like she was ripped.
Yeah.
Like she was like, I was strong. She was ripped.
Yeah.
And she bounced off of me, and she was like, damn, Mac truck. And I was like, I felt kind
Stuck.
of cool. Yeah, so ever since then it stuck.
You loved it.
Yeah, it was because I took the weight room really serious, like I said in the last episode.
You were, but so some of our listeners might not know, like our dozens of listeners out there. But you said you were a grad assistant, not on the court,
Not on the court, not in the office, in the weight room.
in the weight room.
Yeah.
And some of the girls that won tonight, some of the seniors, they were your.
Yeah, I could have. I'm pretty sure I had 3 of them. Because I think 2 or somehow one's a junior, another redshirted. Long story short, I had 3 of them at least. And what I did was after I graduated with my master's, I stuck around the 2
bragging.
summers after. Sorry, it was an accomplishment. Very proud of it. I stuck around the 2 summers after, and I trained them. I would condition them. So I didn't
How'd
really
that
have
go?
them in the weight room. I just had them in conditioning. I will be honest with you. If I wasn't in broadcasting, I would be doing some form of train. I don't even know if training is the right word, but motivate. I can motivate the hell out of someone.
Well, okay. Well, you motivated us to actually do this podcast. But the funny thing that the thing that I believe why people are so kind of enamored by the Mack truck and the whole Allie Clifton thing, in my personal humble opinion, is because you look at the typical sideline reporter, and when they see that, oh no, she's not there to just randomly talk about basketball. You lived it, You bled it. You fought it. You're an Ohio girl. You played in Ohio. You were out there in your LeBrons
with no
There's
socks.
proof. No socks.
Who
No
does-
socks,
wait,
no braces.
Who doesn't
Ankle
play
braces,
with
no
socks on? Like so.
Channing, you got anything to say?
Really? So right now, Channing is just going to sit here and watch. Okay, so the Celtics and Warriors are coming up next.
It's kind of a big game.
Yeah, it's a big game. No one cares. Either way, we win.
Back to your practice uniform.
No, my teammates have
Either way,
always
we
joked.
win.
The teammates have always joked about me and just said that like I look like a creative player on 2K because it's like I wear my socks low. I don't wear any long tights. I don't wear an armband, no wristband. Because for me, like if I miss a shot or if I'm wearing something on my wrist or fingers, that's the first thing to go the minute I miss a shot. Like that is the first thing to go. Socks, I don't know if they fall in that line. But that's a pretty unique one.
It's
So
kind of like your handshake.
Let,
you don't
let me
have
ask
one.
you. Let me ask you a question. I was very surprised about this when I started working with the Cavs and going to practice and look, going to practice in the morning, shoot around. I was very surprised how, for example, LeBron and even Kyrie, they warm up and not with the shoes that they're going to play with. And I play a lot of basketball and soccer.
what do you mean, like
and
in a game?
Yeah, like Kyrie will come out before the game.
Come on, Rafa.
with another pair of shoes.
Rafa, come on. You're better than this.
I don't know the answer.
You don't know the answer either?
No, because I think it's so crazy that, first of all, they wear
would
new
like-
shoes every time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, guys.
Well, I don't mind-
guys, this is not about basketball. What is this about?
Oh, their shoe.
Their shoe. So
I
like
guess
all
when
the
you get a custom-made shoe to your
yeah,
I guess it
and-
fits.
I
Well,
guess-
and for Kyrie, he has an absurd amount of colorways, and for Bron, he has multiple types of shoes.
That
He
makes
has
sense.
his Soldier, he has his low top, and he has his original. So like he has to be seen. He has to be seen wearing all of said shoes, and he's not going to wear the low tops in the
No,
game.
but I guess it makes sense what Ali says, that the shoe is so custom made for them that
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like new. Like
Yeah, it's
you
not-
couldn't play with a brand new shoe.
And they wear-
I find that really.
No, and they wear a new pair of shoe every game.
Yeah.
So it doesn't if they wear a new pair of shoe and then they walk out, or they wear it in warm up and then they go in the locker room and wear a new pair of shoe,
It feels the same.
it's an orthotic, it's custom.
That's what
And for us, like my shoes might have a 2 or 3 game wear max. So for all of us, for the most part, that it's not about how many times. It's not about breaking a shoe in. Breaking a shoe in because how hard we play, the size that we are. If you break a shoe in, for the most part, it's going to be done. It's going to get broken down, and you need that structure because, Kyle Korver right now is sitting out because he was, how hard he runs, how hard he cuts, how hard he plants. He had an aggravated foot because his foot was moving inside the shoe. And so you try a couple of different shoes, and if it's not working, but meanwhile, you aggravate the ligament on the outside of your foot. So when you try and plant, when you try and cut.
Stop and go.
The stop and go. Imagine Kyrie with that stop and go that he does.
And Kyle wears the lowest cut of sneaker that I have ever seen.
Oh, no, he wears the same thing that Channing
wears.
Channing. Really?
No, but Channing has been wearing Kyrie's.
No, but Channing, we're going to sit here right now, and we're actually talking about you, and you don't.
That's what happens when you got duct tape.
No,
over your mouth.
but people, I know you guys love what Channing brings. We love him. I love the kid since I met him. But this is the stuff that you guys don't see. You don't see how he is a prima donna and how he just does not want to cooperate. Like, we have to fight to get him on as much as we get the talent. But we love him, and we love him because you guys love him. And he still wants to sit here 2 feet away from the mic and not talk to us because he wants to just be mean to us.
It's like the little Kev number 2.
Little Kev number 2. No, Little Kev is an OG. Little Kev is an OG.
So he's a young G?
No, Channing, there's nothing G about Kev. C murder. There's nothing cool about C murder. But while we have you guys here and we have your attention, one, we want to say thank you for all the shout outs on Instagram, all the shout outs on Twitter, Road Tripping Pod. Obviously we posted what was awesome about the exchange between me and Draymond. And so as much as Warrior fans and Cleveland Cavalier fans, and we hate LeBron and we hate Steph and F Steph Curry and LeBron cry, at the
Did they
end
really
of the,
say that?
well, I'm saying there was a song about that. I didn't like it. I love Steph. There really was a song. I didn't produce it. But the cool thing about the text message between me and Draymond is that Draymond was my rookie. Clay was my rookie. Harrison was my rookie. And so we have a tremendous amount of respect for each other, even though we want to beat each other, even though we want to talk trash to each other. So even though people try and make things into a rivalry, into all this other BS, at the end of the day, like, we're all competitors. We want to win, but it doesn't go deeper than that. That's just the way.
Do you really forget about that relationship you just mentioned, though? For example, on the Martin Luther King game day, when he kind of side tackled LeBron, and you kind of stood with him face to face.
No, because he's affecting my money.
He's
affecting my livelihood.
Yeah.
And so from that standpoint, in that moment, it doesn't matter, and he will say the exact same thing. It's no disrespect. Like, I've had to guard and play against, like, Andre Iguodala. Like, me, Andre Iguodala, at Iguodala's wedding, it's me, it's Draymond, it's Steph, it's Steve Kerr, it's Luke Walton, it's Bazemore. Like, these are all competitors in the playoffs, and we're sitting here having drinks and we're dancing the electric slide together. You know, like, it's a good time.
Are you a
like,
good dancer?
I'm an awful dancer.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
an amazing drinker and singer.
Yeah.
Right? So if you get me in a club, I drink a lot and I sing a lot. That's
Are you a good
amazing.
singer?
I'm a terrible singer. I'm an awful singer.
So it's all liquid courage.
Yeah, and I took chorus because that's where all the girls were, and it was the easiest day. But yeah, no, there's nothing there. There's nothing there outside. So, but if he elbows Bron, he's not on my team. I will elbow him back. I will hit him back because that's the competitiveness. And we talked about it in the podcast with Kent. I don't like in the regular season. Guys will see each other. Guys will go to dinner. Guys will text. Guys will crack jokes. In the postseason, there is no talking. There is no like, we played the Warriors Christmas Day 2 years ago in Golden State. So it was my little boy's first Christmas, and so my wife flies out, brings our little boy, and we have Christmas over at Luke's house, right? So he's there with his little boy, there with his wife, who I've known and loved. We're all hanging out like Christmas Eve together for a Christmas Day. After the Christmas Day game, we're all taking pictures. We're saying hello. In the playoffs, we don't talk. Like, we don't see each other. There is nothing there. And it's out of love, but there's just nothing there. But enough about that. Let's get to, like I said, because people have given us so much love on Instagram, Road Tripping Pod.
We got to give it back.
So we're going to go through and we're going to answer some questions.
We've got two questions. I already have a couple
wow.
up. We've got
me.
two of the same questions, and it's interesting.
Tell us.
Because I actually kind of like it. I believe it's Luis Calager, and this other one would be from, it's the same question, Brandon Bush. Do pineapples go on pizza?
Damn right they do. I just saw it. I just opened up the Twitter. Damn right it does. So my go-to pizza, and I've actually gotten people on board because it's a little different. Sausage, pepperoni, pineapple, black olives.
Oh, black olives. Sick.
I'm not asking you to like it.
Okay.
I'm just telling you what my go-to. Can I have an opinion?
Yeah, absolutely. You're entitled.
Channing.
He says, he told me, he's whispering right now, anchovies.
You literally.
This is what Channing's saying. Anchovies. Anchovies. That's what he likes.
But he's an idiot. No one. It's just.
That's what he likes.
Because he's not trying to really truly contribute to this conversation.
Channing
He wants to sit there.
anchovies on his pizza.
He wants to sit there and watch this game. He wants to watch Draymond and his 8th best podcast on Sports and Rec. That's what he wants to do.
Lewis and Brandon. Not only do pineapples go on pizza, what else do pineapples go with that is really good?
Pina coladas.
Yeah, that's true. If you are Cleveland people, or if you ever have a chance to order hibachi, chicken hibachi, add pineapple from Vang's especially, is to die for.
Chicken hibachi. Is that a
chicken
rice?
Chicken hibachi
fried
is
rice?
A fried rice.
Oh.
You got some vegetables, but you add that sweet. I think pineapple warm is amazing.
Yeah, there is one
my
that I
2
think
cents.
it'd be interesting to hear from you, RJ. From R Breezy 15. How cool is James Jones?
Champ?
A lot of people always wonder who Champ is or what his role is.
James Jones is coming on the podcast. Don't worry. You're going to get him. He's great. James Jones, a.k.a. known as Champ, he is the fire starter. He's the gasoline starter. He is the guy that when two people are arguing, he will take a side and wink at the other person and just like, no, I think you're wrong. He is that individual. But as far as basketball IQ, as far as caring about the game and it being played the right way and being a professional, you won't find a better guy, and that's why he's been in the league as long as he has, and he's so popular. But
Jamie Dorse.
No. I want to address this one time.
Okay,
really.
we'll get back to you, Jamie.
Jamie, we're going to come back to you.
It's a really good one.
So there was in 2007, there was a game where LeBron, when I was in Milwaukee, LeBron had 50-something points, whatever. So people keep asking me about this stupid.
How do you feel about it?
I don't give a shit. I've played 1,300 games in my career. Michael Jordan scored 40 points against me. He was the first person over 40 to score 40.
You?
Like on our team, and I was guarding him primarily. If you go back and watch when Bron scored 55, Scott Skiles, his whole thing was let's take away Mo Williams. So when Mo Williams played well, he was an all-star that year. And so when Mo played well, their team typically won. But if you took away Mo, their team typically struggled. So our game plan was never about stopping LeBron. And if you look at those shots, it's like, I don't care. I don't care if he hit shots. Like, what do you think, that I'm upset about it? I'm disappointed. My feelings are hurt. No, he's a professional. He's one of the great scorers of all time. If he wants to hit those shots, I can literally look across the NBA and look at all the really tough guys online and say, you couldn't have done a better fucking job. So it's not like he had 19 dunks. It's not like he was posting me up and big boying me. Oh, he was hitting deep threes. Good for him.
Richard doesn't get big boyed.
No, it's not that. I just want to say this about great. If you want to be a good defender in life, if you want to be a good defender in anything on the planet, you have to be able to tip your hat to your opponent. That is the number one thing, because the minute you get discouraged is the minute they have you beat. But if I show up and I pick up full court and you want to hit a three from 32 feet out, and you make it, I tip my hat and I show back up and do the exact same thing. You can't, like, it's the being down in a series. It's like, tip your hat. They did what they needed to do. You come back and do it again. But I've been asked that question too many times now to not annoyed, but just be like, really, people, I don't care. I will say this. My career high is against the Cavs and LeBron James. Against the Cavs and LeBron James. Now, mind you, my career high was only 40, but
that's not bad.
It's not bad, but I hit a game winner, and I had my career high. Like
you hit the game winner.
Yeah, no big deal. Once or twice.
Okay.
But we don't sit here and me and Bron talk about that our career highs are against each other.
Have you only had a game winner in the NBA?
No. I had a game winner in college against Arizona.
Wait, what?
And when I was at Arizona against Washington, Jason Terry. Yes, I played with Jason Terry, who's 39 years old. Jason Terry was a senior my freshman year. He shoots a turnaround, and I'm underneath the hoop. It's an air ball. So I jump up, grab it, and put it in, and the buzzer sounds. That was it. Was
it a home or away?
Game?
Oh, it was a huge game because they were retiring Steve Kerr's jersey. So Sean Elliott was there, like all these people were there, and Steve Kerr is just a legend, just an ultimate legend at Arizona.
Is it true that Sean Elliott wore that knee brace, but he didn't really need to wear it? It was just like a
sometimes it's probably some security. You bang your knee this, you play a good game, you keep kind of like Rip Hamilton with that mask.
Yeah,
like Rip Hamilton didn't need the mask at the end; he just kind of kept wearing it because it was his thing. So, what are our next questions, Allie?
Jamie Dorst.
Jamie Dorst.
The next one.
What is it?
This is interesting. What's your favorite word?
My favorite word. That's not a cuss word. No, I'm joking. My favorite word is probably really.
That is my. I swear to you. Really? Seriously, I promise you.
Channing, what's your favorite? Okay, well, Channing's not going to contribute to anything today. You're not even going to tell us your favorite word, Channing.
Just speak for him. What is his favorite word?
I don't know. He's an idiot.
How about this one from Average
Really?
Joe at aim_330, including Ali? What is the most embarrassing moment in NBA or college that you have had in a game?
My most embarrassing moment? I don't know. I don't have many embarrassing moments. Oh yeah, I'll tell you this. How about this? So in the Garden, maybe my rookie or second year, I think. In the Garden, I get a fast break, and I was about to windmill it, and I'll give you two. So I was about to windmill it, and I bobble it off my feet, and it goes out of bounds. And it was just one of those
At the Garden.
At the Garden, and it was like Knicks versus Nets, so those were really, really big games. And it was just one of those games we had a bad game. Like my record versus the Knicks when Nets, because that was always like our favorite game to play. Like we were like 20-3 versus them, including a sweep in the playoffs. The other time was in high school when I was starting to get dunk and try and do different things. I tried to go around my back and dunk it, and I started to go around my back, and it happened to be the time where all the cheerleaders, everyone's there. I get an open break, and they're like, and I try and go showboat around my back, and the ball just goes out of bounds. And I'm just like, oh, that sucks.
So you didn't necessarily have handles.
No, if anybody watches my game is the most basic game of all time.
Yeah,
fundamental.
And because I played basketball, I grew up learning how to play on the park. Like that was it. I didn't play organized basketball. Truly, my first full year of organized basketball was my sophomore year in high school. But I have no sexy to my game. There's no sexy. The only sexy is really based off my jumps and like my athleticism and my hop. But if you look
you think
at
that's sexy?
Oh, my hops are super sexy. My hops are super sexy. But if you try and say my handle or around the back or no look pat, my shit's trash.
My
you, Ali?
embarrassing moment was in junior high.
Oh, jeez.
Shout out to everyone who scores the basketball in the wrong basket.
Oh, you
in
did
a
that.
tournament. In
No.
a tournament game, I did do that. In front of my junior high boyfriend, they traveled to watch us play. So embarrassing.
What was your
To
junior high?
this
What was your
day,
junior high
and we
boyfriend?
lost.
How did
the
it happen,
game.
though?
I think I'm pretty sure it was out of a timeout. I'll never forget it. It was
got
in
a
the
steal?
Lida junior high gym. It was out of timeout. No, which is even worse because it's an out of bounds play. And while everyone's at the other end,
Ali thought
I'm
she
like-
fooled everybody.
yeah, I'm like, why is everyone not down here? I was jumping up and down, and I got the ball, and I made it. My boyfriend and his two friends made a sign that had an arrow that pointed the other way.
A sign with an arrow.
And you know, at that age, you're like,
So, yeah.
you know,
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Please explain.
you're just not very comfortable. You're just like trying to find your way. You're trying to fit in, and you're also trying to like be cool. You know?
You weren't the Mack truck yet.
I felt so awesome because I jumped so high. I was like, yes. And then everyone was like, what?
You
And-
jumped so high. Did you touch the backboard?
Channing, no, I didn't.
Oh.
For the 5th time, that question has been asked to
But
me.
you can touch the backboard.
I've never tried.
It's basketball. It's
I
an
really
object.
haven't ever tried.
Okay, whatever. What's our next question?
How about...
Let's not overthink it.
Can we include Channing or no?
Channing, are you going?
He doesn't have to answer, but it's about Channing,
What
the
is
question.
Okay,
we
well,
can answer for him then.
Kevin Boos, K Boos 30. What was the team chemistry like before and after Channing came to the team?
what are you talking? Like,
Team was very quiet before.
no, the team. Channing, do you just take this one question? Channing, please, will you please take this one question? They want like now you're not being a dick to us. You're being rude to the fans. Okay. Well, the score is 15-7.
I
Golden
wish
State's
you
up.
guys could all see his face right now.
Yeah. Okay. So, what was the team like? The team was the team. We had a very good team. Channing was an individual that brought everyone kind of together in a way that part of the reason why Channing felt so comfortable is because me and him had a very, very good relationship. So he was able to kind of jump right in and feel comfortable. And then after that, like I said, he used to during the playoffs, it'd be me. He would put me, Channing. It'd be me, him, Bron, and Kevin. He would just start a text chain with us while watching the game at home. Right, he could be watching Atlanta, Boston in the first round, and so he would put, and it was like he would sit wherever he wanted on the bus or sit whatever he wanted and he was just it was just one of those people that just had fun. Yes, I'm talking about you, and you're standing right there. Like, okay, if you don't want to join, then I'm gonna talk about you like you're not here. So it was fun. Channing is an individual that every team needs. Every team needs a champ. James Jones. Every team needs a Channing.
Have you guys talked about playing together before you guys retire? Obviously, your careers were coming to an end.
No, it's not something that it's so rare. It's so rare to get somebody that you actually connect with and you have a friendship with outside of sport. Like and you look at Andre Iguodala, I would say. Gary Neal's a guy that I became really close with. Tim Duncan is a person that I still to this day crack jokes with and keep in touch with, regardless of basketball. So it just doesn't happen, even if you've been on championship high level teams.
Gigi Wask, that's the name. Wants to know.
Thanks. I appreciate it. That's not the question.
No, her name is Gigi Wask. She wants to know who your favorite basketball player of all time is, current and old.
Current. What is that? Little Richard. Little Richard is my favorite basketball player current.
Oh, that's precious.
Yes, he's amazing. He learned how to hang on the rim. So
Lord.
Yeah, so now he dunks it and lifts his feet up.
Oh,
It's
Lord.
amazing.
Like Shaq style?
What kind of hoop you got?
We have this metal one that has like 3 hoops on it. Like 3 hoops, like at different levels, like medium, small, and high. But it's like kind of goes in like a circular.
So it holds him.
Yeah, so he learns how to dunk, and now he hangs on it and lifts his feet up. I don't know.
Does he yell?
No, he doesn't yell. I think he watched the Boston game, and so now he wants to hang on the rim. So
like father, like son. That's
he's
scary.
he's my favorite current. Past, Channing's favorite player was Chris Dudley growing up. But I don't know, David Robinson, Magic Johnson, those guys, like, it was tough to not be in awe of what Michael Jordan was doing. But yeah, no, those are my guys. You, Al?
My current is Maya Moore. I'm going to stick to the women's side.
Maya was good.
She was so much fun to watch in college. I loved how, this is so honest, she has, like, whether it's her strength or just her sheer athleticism, her form on her shot is incredible. And the release for a women's player is so dominating. But I actually went to a camp before my senior of college at Colorado State. It was an Athletes in Action camp, and she was one of the camp counselors there. And one of our challenges at the end of the week was basically to live Jesus Christ's last 24 hours. So it was physical activity for 24 hours, and basically the point of it was to push you so far past physical and mental fatigue that you had to rely on your spiritual spirituality. Did you really?
Yeah.
You're lying.
I swear to you.
That's wrong of you to lie about something like that. It was a life-changing moment in my life.
Being serious, man.
You're pulling a Channing right now. You're pulling a Channing. I'm sorry, Channing. You're pulling a Channing right now.
What are you
that is
talking
rude.
about?
That is rude. I had a moment. I actually had a moment there.
Allie is so
where I was.
She was spilling her.
You were on teams with other Division I athletes and from
you had
all
to do
across
the swimming
the country.
competition. And,
did I tell you about this already?
No.
But it was. You had to do.
I went. What are you talking about? I did it.
Stop lying to
Doug
the fans.
Gocher. Doug Gocher is one of the head guys there and worked at Arizona. I went to the Athletes in Action camp in Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs?
Yeah, that's where
Colorado
it was.
Springs? Yeah, Colorado Springs. Yeah, I went to it. I went to it between my sophomore and junior year.
You're such a liar.
Why do you think I'm a liar, Allie?
God is going to strike you for this one if you're lying.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, so I go to this camp in Maya Moore. I had obviously watched her, been watching her play, and she's there, and she's a camp counselor, and I'll never forget, it was like 1 a.m., and we were finishing on the court stuff. It was basketball games. If you weren't playing, you were doing some sort of physical activity, and it was to exhaustion, right? And based off how the teams were seated, say there were 10 teams.
You had to do the run at the end? That's just devastating.
Oh, my God. No, I already told you the story. That's why
no
you're
one
repeating
told
it.
the story. You have to do it with the plank. Seriously.
No, it's with the cross.
Or cross. I'm saying a wooden
it's to
plank.
symbolize the cross.
Allie,
It's
I
a wooden,
went to
2x4.
the camp.
Okay.
You don't believe me. She doesn't believe me.
We'll talk offline.
No, that's not what this.
Anyways.
We don't talk offline. That's
So
not what
I did. I reached a point of exhaustion, and I kind of just like hit the deck, and she came over and prayed for me, and it just had like a lasting effect on me. But obviously, what she's doing in the WNBA and has continued to do, she's definitely my favorite player. And my past favorite player, Tim Duncan. We'll talk about that later.
Why are we talking about that later?
Got another question? Liar?
I,
Someone asked us last night if Richard had a nickname. I responded no. Shout out, that is me. I did respond that one on
have a
Twitter,
nickname.
but now you do. Liar.
I don't.
Maybe we should call you Jim Carrey.
Okay, how about this? I'll tell. So all the fans out there, I went to the camp, and then years later, I went and spoke at the camp.
How old are you? Because I went years later after you, apparently, and you were not there.
What does that text? What does that text say? What year did I go and talk at the AIA camp?
I can't
No, the
believe this.
AIA camp is an amazing. I actually donated money for years to AIA Athletes in Action.
Yeah.
Our third
It's
year.
equivalent for like college, for instance. It's equivalent to high school FCAs.
Yeah. See, yeah. And so, my parents were missionaries growing up. So, just growing up in the church and having a strong belief and a strong faith, but going to college and being around just the athletes. My guy Doug Gocher was somebody that was huge for me and just kind of keeping me in check and keeping me focused. And then, like I said, my third or fourth year after, I went back and talked to the camp, and it was amazing. It was an awesome time and an awesome camp.
How did you do on the written test?
Oh,
After 15 hours of physical
I don't think we had a written test.
activity.
I don't think we had a written test at that.
No.
But you want to talk about a physical, like the talent show? So the talent show, did you do the talent show?
Yes, you
So,
really did go.
Yes, my friend Chrissy, we were gonna be Spartan.
I apologize.
We
You're
were
not
gonna,
going to hell.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We were gonna be Spartan cheerleaders. We were gonna do the Spartan. Do you remember Will Ferrell and Sherry O'Terry? Or you might be too young.
I'm too young.
Okay, Will Ferrell had a great bit where he was a Spartan cheerleader, so we were gonna do that. It was gonna be classic. But I appreciate you telling all the people out there that I'm a liar. Let's get back to the questions. Allie's rude.
He's the guy, StatCat22. He says he was born in raised in New Jersey. What was your favorite go-to spot when you were with the Nets?
My favorite go-to spot. When I first lived there, I lived on River Road. I lived in Bulls Ferry, and there was nothing there. We were one of the first.
You lived on a
developments.
ferry?
No, it's just the name. It was called Jacobs Ferry, Bulls Ferry.
Oh.
It's just the name of the development.
Okay.
And it was right on the water on the Jersey side.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to drive to Hoboken all the time. And Hoboken, we used to go to the Cadoba right there on, is it Washington? I think it might be Washington Street, Water Street or Washington. I don't remember. It's been so long. But just to let people know how old I am and the crap that I've been through, my rookie year was 9/11. So my rookie year, I get drafted by New Jersey. I go there, and in September, we're working out. We're actually doing an appearance at a school very similar to Bush, and we hear that a plane hit the tower, and we were like, whatever. But we're watching this in our practice facility, and from our practice facility, you can see the towers, and where we lived was right on the water, and so it was just. And then it was like the city was burning, the city was burning for months and months and months. And at the beginning of the season, they kept doing like memorials for the firefighters and the police officers. And there's just so many. It was a crazy, crazy time. So that was just a little history lesson in my time. And
do you know that RJ and I were together at the Nets?
Did you guys know that?
Yeah, he has a picture.
Yeah.
I've seen the picture of me dunking and Rafa in the background. I dunked on Kobe in the finals. No one cares.
No one cares.
No one cares.
How about this one? Lady Lion. Why is RJ so hard on Channing?
He brings it upon himself.
His stubbornness, right?
The answer is tonight.
No, people want to say why I'm so hard on Channing. Channing is going to sit 5 feet away and deprive you guys of his terrible timing, his terrible jokes, and his off-the-wall comments, which we love, and that's why we love him for that. But he wants to sit here and be stubborn and just watch Boston and Golden State. He said he was going to come but not record. So he's just, okay. That's why I'm so hard on him, because we have to try harder to get Channing on than we do to get any of our other teammates. That's why. Next question.
He's tired. He's trying to rest up for the game.
Whatever.
What's your question? What do you
I don't know.
got?
I'm looking. Favorite basketball currently.
Here, this one.
We already did that one.
Notorious MIG. Where the heck was RJ running to so fast when the buzzer sounded after winning Game 7?
Let me tell you this. Whoever this person is, what's his name?
Notorious B.
RJ
Notorious
wasn't running
MIG.
anywhere.
Notorious MIG. I had a vision, and I had a vision of what we were going to do if we won.
Don't lie.
And I swear to you. And so I was like, yo, if we win this, I swear to God, I'm just going to put my hands in my head and I'm just going to cry.
You did.
I did. I did not move. So that was not me. I hate to break it to you.
T. Lou is the one that was
That was
running.
Ty.
Yeah, but how
And
does,
I think it
but,
was
but I don't know how he would
Dante.
mistake
And
me
Dante
for a
Jones
person.
ran
It might
behind
have-
him.
It
Yeah.
might have been Dante. It
He
might have
ran-
been Dante. That
he
was
ran
not.
to T. Lou,
I
yeah.
know light-skinned and black guys with bald heads probably all look alike.
What
But
did you do, Ali?
What did I do? I'll be honest with you, because we are expected, and I fully understand this, to be professionals and continue to cover the game, for instance. In moments like that, shout out to Doris Berg. She's one of my biggest idols and mentors. In
Love
that
Doris.
moment, that's exactly what you have to be.
Yes.
You know, you have to be on your...
Yeah, but she's not a fan. But she's not working for the team.
Doris Burke is
Exactly.
a fan.
So here's-
Doris Burke is a fan of the Cavs. We're her favorite team.
No, I
Here's
know,
the
but
thing.
we spend time with you guys. We live every day, even though.
And here's why it was different in that moment. I'm just giving you an example. Like, that in that moment is when you typically have to be a professional. Like, that's what's expected of you. However, I actually, because I felt like the last 2 minutes of that game took 3 hours, I had a chance to, like, stop myself, because my parents do a really good job of always keeping me in check of, number one, staying grounded, number two, making sure I'm okay, you know, mentally and physically. But also, they're really good at making sure I don't allow time to pass me by, an opportunity. So understanding moments and appreciating them. And so I had a chance to literally tell myself that when that buzzer goes off and if this team wins, enjoy it.
Oh,
And
you
that's
see, I didn't have
exactly
time to.
what I did. I
Yeah.
walked on the floor the second the buzzer went off, and I was just taking video. I really was. Like, I did not, you know, at that point, we realized that we weren't going to get interviews on the floor, and so I allowed myself to just really live it up, and
And that's why you have a ring.
Yeah.
Allie has a championship ring. We talked about that on Facebook Live. Some of you guys tuned in. We will be doing a Facebook Live again
next Wednesday.
next Wednesday when we
Fox
get
Sports
back
Ohio,
to town.
Facebook
Fox
Live.
Sports Ohio. Shout out to our guy Brent, even though he's Canadian. But hopefully,
what does that have to do with anything?
I don't know, the whole, you know, Trump and letting people in and letting them stay here.
Next question. What do you got? You're not delivering any questions.
Okay, next question. Okay, I'm gonna reel off a couple. What TV show are you most embarrassed to admit binge watching? Alex Hutnick. Hashtag Ask Allie. Anything that you guys want to know from Allie, you guys have to put the hashtag hash.
Ali.
Okay, I'm new to social media, so this
Wow.
it's new.
What's the word you always
Hashtag
throw at me?
Ask Allie.
Exposure. You're
I-
not doing yourself a favor.
No, I'm new to.
Yeah, they were asking how come you don't have an Instagram account.
because I don't like.
he does.
I
Don't let him fool y'all.
I know.
No,
that,
I
but-
do not. I do not, and I do not have a Twitter. The only Twitter and Instagram that I am associated
Road
with is
Trippin'
Road Tripping.
Podcast.
So, what are you embarrassed to admit that you binge watch?
You watch The Bachelor?
I do, but I'm not embarrassed. I
No?
actually like that.
Give me okay. So I know
Yeah.
this joke has been played out, but explain this to me. This joke has been played out, but for our listeners, explain it to me how women hate when guys date multiple girls, but some of the top shows on television are about a man dating 25 girls.
Who dates multiple girls?
And the Bachelor.
Yeah, but what do you mean? And you said you're comparing it to.
I'm comparing
So you're
it to,
saying
I'm
that-
saying that's what you guys are drawn to, a guy watching 20 women fight for the love of one guy, and he kisses them all, he goes on dates with them all, he meets multiple of their families. Like, it's a whole competition. But if you were to do that away from television, the guy's an asshole. But you are drawn to this. This is the number one show for,
Yeah, you
for
like-
women.
you like the drama.
Between 16 and 45, this is the number one show for females. I'll do you one better.
Okay.
Scandal. People
Never
can't
seen
get,
it.
It's fine.
Okay.
I'll tell you the gist. People can't get enough of Scandal. Basically, it's about a president who's married and is having an affair with one of his staffers.
Okay. You know, here's the thing, though. I can't really comment on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette because from my time of actually watching it, number one, whatever they do, they're doing it right because it's got my attention. But number two, what I will tell you is that I couldn't imagine ever being on that show. So props to the men and women that do go on there really searching for whatever it is they're searching for because
attention and
I
fame.
couldn't do that.
Okay.
I really couldn't.
I believe you.
But what is the show that you binge watch? That you're embarrassed to admit? I don't really have one that I'm embarrassed to admit.
Do you still watch
I have one that
90210?
I'm really proud of that though. I'm not embarrassed to admit that. Beverly Hills 90210. I could watch and name and reenact every single episode.
That's me, Saved by the Bell.
10 years.
Okay, couple quick questions. Show that I binge watch. I watch terrible sitcoms, so I love King of Queens. I love Everybody Loves Raymond. They're on like TV Land.
Those are
And
terrible though.
But
Yeah,
I'm saying terrible in the sense that they're
You
so
know what you should be
dated.
embarrassed
They're so
about?
What? What? Married with Children. Love.
That's an
That's
awesome
my
show.
number one show.
Oh.
So, are you gonna tell people? Okay, never mind.
South Park.
Oh, South Park is an amazing show. I'm actually developing a TV show right now, and one of the guys from South Park we're working with. So we'll
Nice
see.
little teaser.
We'll see if it works out. Do any of y'all own Yeezys by Jacob Aguirre? No, we're all Nike. Fuck Yeezy.
How about this one? Katie Fifth. Is it okay to date a non-Cavs fan?
Yes, but it is.
Ooh, I liked this one.
That was a good one. Yes, it is okay to date a non-Cavs fan, but
I actually think it's healthy because I think competition is very healthy.
yes, but understand that don't schedule your wedding in June, and don't schedule your wedding in June, and
Because you won't be able to make it.
yes, because we will not be able to make it.
Yeah,
What-
I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan.
Come
of
on,
that.
Allie. They want to know what it's like to be able to work. And I'm gonna tell this out, and I know we're probably gonna get a little flack, but I've been noticing there's been some people in the media just that they call it the scrum. In our locker room, they call it the scrum. There's like whenever there's an interview by LeBron or Kyrie, never by me. There's always just like 30 people that rush to his locker room, and it's called a scrum. So people are jockeying for position to get their question, and so. But I've known that people are a little jealous, Allie, that you get to sit down and talk with LeBron and Kyrie and obviously myself and Channing. That you get to sit
Channing
down.
doesn't speak. So.
Yeah, well, Channing's an idiot. So they're a little jealous that you get to sit down because this is not a normal opportunity for people in your position or for people in the media. Like, for instance, if you combine every one of LeBron's interviews, post-game, every one of LeBron's interviews that he's done at any point in time in the season, I don't think that they add up to the 3.5 hours he sat down and talked with us.
You're right.
And that doesn't come across. The people don't like that. That they have to listen to your questions to get their stories.
Number one, I hope that they aren't jealous of that in terms of.
I'd be jealous if I was up.
Oh, from I think
but
a
she
respectful,
works with the-
positive place, but at the same time, I hope it's not in a jealousy of,
No, it's not. It's more of an opportunity.
Yeah,
that you wish.
Kind of like I wish they
I think
had.
only I just think the one thing from my standpoint and my point of view in terms of being in this position is that number one, I've been granted the opportunity and the experience with both Fox Sports Ohio and the Cavs to have the access that I have. They've opened that door up for me since LeBron's returned back. That's really when the change kind of shifted. When Griff became the GM, the opportunity and the open door to be able to sit and practice. I say this all the time, but honestly, there's moments when I can't be at practice because, for some that don't know, like my husband lives in Toledo, and so I'm kind of balancing personal life as well as work and professional. So when I'm not at practice, there's moments where you guys do give me a hard time, or you say something about me not being there. And so just the opportunity that I have and that I take advantage of to be around all the time, I think has really put me in a position to be trusted by you guys. And it's given you understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's given you guys an understanding that I push myself and I want to be just as good as what I do as you guys do in your own profession and what you guys do. And so there's a trust there that allows me to sit here and be.
Oh yeah, I would say very few people will get this opportunity. When I started and you and I started talking about the podcast and like, yo, how do we do this? I would love to.
And that was another question, by the way. How did this come about?
Well, the podcast came about in a real weird way. I'll say it started from Snapchat, in the sense that I saw that the fans were really, really loving my Snapchat because they were getting stuff that they had never gotten before. And they were getting content that they'd never seen before. Like, yeah, you can watch LeBron walk in or Kyrie walk in on ESPN, right? And you can see what he's wearing. You can hear the guys commentate. But no one had ever videoed it and put it on a like live action like platform like Snapchat. And now you can see us making fun of Channing shoes or cracking jokes about T-Top sweater. Like, that never been done. So you're seeing that before ESPN. And, we're going to do a whole thing about how ESPN and what's going on and how sports visually is changing. But no, so that's where it came about. I was like, yo, well, if fans are really loving that content that they've never gotten before, why don't we do a podcast? I knew JJ Redick had done a podcast, and I'd heard positive things about that. I'm not JJ. I'm a little bit more off the wall and opinionated, where I think JJ probably does a little bit more of an interview style from a basketball player's standpoint. But, and then we brought Channing in, and obviously you can see how much he's contributing today. But no, for the most part, it was all about how much we could give the fans. Share with the fans. And that's how LeBron started Uninterrupted. He was like, yo, I don't want my words to get twisted. If I want to give a message out, why do I have to wait for an interview? Why do I have to tweet it in how many characters are Twitter?
140.
140. Why do I have to tweet it in that? Why does it have to be a minute-long video on
Or you
Instagram?
get what you want out instead of what the media wants to put out there as a headline.
Exactly. And it's uncut from the standpoint of like, yo, if we want to talk about one topic for 20 minutes, we can. And then the listener can choose to listen to that versus ESPN or versus Fox Sports cutting something up into how they want to present it to make sure that they get clicks or viewers. And that's not we grew up loving ESPN and Fox Sports, so there's not a knock on them, but I think that's where media is changing, where athletes and individuals have more of a control on on what's being put out.
I just think at the end of the day, for those who wonder and not to get back to it, but to kind of like sum it all up, I get a question a lot in terms of like advice. Rafa, for instance, from you and your standpoint and being where you are, and Richard, whether it be what you're about to embark on in your professional career post basketball or being an NBA player, we kind of talked about that. Yes, you do. I just think that not enough can be said about work ethic and working your tail off, no matter what it is that you have in front of you. I think taking advantage of that goes a long way, and I think that's why.
That's in their side too, because preparation is what takes you apart from.
Yeah, preparation is key, and I will say this:
you can't work hard enough.
No, you can't in anything, and you can't be too much of a perfectionist. The last thing I'll say before we'll close out is,
why do you get the final word? It's International Women's Day.
Really?
Okay. Okay.
I was all about equality, and
you got the final word.
You always get to close out, so I figured since it's Women's Day, I get to close out. No,
that's when I step to the side and allow you to.
Here we go. The only thing that I was going to say is I was going to give a shout out to one of the people that have consulted us on this and given advice is Jerry Matalone. He worked with ESPN for a very, very long time. When I went to the broadcasting school that the NBA presents. They do a broadcasting school in Syracuse that has produce some of the best, Iron Eagle, Mike Trico, just some of the best in all of
Syracuse,
broadcasting.
it's the
Syracuse,
best
yeah, it's
broadcast.
amazing. And so Jerry Matalone told me, get reps. He was like, the one thing that I could tell everybody in our class, and there was multiple guys in our class, is get reps. Doesn't matter. If you have to go into a CBS affiliate, go get reps. If you have to go and come up with your own show or come up with your own podcast or use a media platform, get reps. That's something that you can't duplicate, and you don't want to wait for that opportunity to present itself when you're retired, because it's always that was always the knock on athletes. It's like when you retire, then you want to go knock on people's doors. So instead of doing stuff while you're playing, instead of trying to network and trying to do stuff, and you don't want to take away from your sport and what you're doing, but you want to make sure that you are using your platform as an opportunity to get better. And if I want to be in broadcasting afterwards, and we have 18 hours of downtime between we land here at 2, we don't have any more responsibility till 9 o'clock the next day, why not get our friends and get people we respect around and talk about basketball for an hour? That's not any stress. That's not any strain. And we put it out and we crack jokes about it. So, but that's also inadvertently giving me reps at something that I would want to do 2 or 3 years from now when I retire. And I'm just glad that people like it and the fans love it. # road tripping.
Oh, look at you dropping the mic.
Yes. But no, Allie, if you want to keep talking, go ahead.
I have nothing to say.
First time ever.
First time ever. Talk about first time ever. Channing not saying a word. How long have we gone?
We've
like 50 minutes. But this is something that even if Channing wants to talk next time, I like the fact that you guys let the fans be part of the podcast.
No, I
with
do.
the questions and
Well,
stuff.
the thing is, half the questions were about this idiot right here that doesn't want to talk to us. But Channing, we love you. We just wish that you loved us as much. Channing, are we gonna finish watching the game here, or are you just not going to talk while I have a mic? Is that what's going on? Okay. Well, don't say anything. All right, cool. Well, Allie, would you like to sign off?
Yeah, let's sign off and give one thing that you can't live without on the road.
One thing.
Keep it short.
I'll give it original.
Richard.
A very original. Dryer sheets. Dryer sheets, if you're on the road for a week and you have dirty clothes and they could smell like sweat, they could smell like if you went out to a restaurant.
Oh, wait, your clothes become dirty?
What do you mean? What's that?
Like you sweat?
No, that's different between not wearing socks. That's different than not wearing socks and having athletic shoes. No, but if you dryer sheets are a good thing to travel with. If you're going on a very, very long vacation, wherever, put dryer sheets in between your clothes, or just pack a small thing of dryer sheets. And so if you're moving from location to location, you put them in between. And it allows, like, if you wear a pair of jeans out and people are smoking cigars, and then you have to put it back in your bag, next thing you know, all of your clothes reek like cigars. But if you put some dryer sheets in there, it can kind of help eliminate it.
Mine would be a candle. You know how many hotels that we stay in a matter of 9 months?
No, tell us, Allie.
What do you need the candle for?
There's nothing. It just. I'm a scene setter, so I like to just be at peace and I like to be comfortable. So
Allie's so stressed
I
out.
love candles. I love candles. In my apartment at home, I have 4 rooms and I have 4 different candles. And so when we travel on the road, I like to bring a candle, and it just allows the room to smell a little bit less than like a hotel.
Everybody, please give your recommendations for what candles Allie should buy. Hashtag
Allie's candle.
Allie's candles.
Hashtag Allie's candles. And on that note, I'm going to go set the scene in my room, and I'm going to sleep. Fans, we love you. We appreciate all the love on Instagram and on Twitter for this edition of Road Trippin' with RJ. And
what are our handles?
Our handles on Twitter at Road Trippin' Pod.
Yep.
And our handle on Instagram is
Road Trippin'.
And with that, for Richard Jefferson,
If he's not going to talk,
for the Killa Slayer, I'm your host, Alex.